Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to be covering my thoughts on the upcoming CM that's going to be starting tomorrow. So to start off with, I'm going to show you the map that we'll be playing on. You can actually check this out right now under the friendly matches section. Go to create room and you change the map to the mountain road. This is the map that the match will be played on. You can click party formation and then initial placement to actually take a look at the map and check the height ranges and the placements and things like that. I'm going to show you a very brief clip of it right now. So this is the map. These are your spawn locations. You can click on this button here to kind of see a bird's eye view, which is, I think, a better way of looking at the map to kind of know where units can spawn and where your enemies can spawn. So this map will be like flipped over to the enemy side. So this corner here will actually be this corner for the enemy. So like you usually you would want your three units to kind of spawn within 2 units of each, within 2 spaces of each other. So you can spawn here, or you can spawn something like this, or you can also spawn somewhere over here, or like anywhere along, these spots as well. But I think the other spots are a bit harder because, like, no matter what you do, like if you do something like this, or like Yuna's only getting a 10% bonus to agility, whereas Elsa is getting 20%, and Sakura again is only getting 10% as well. If you instead move Yuna here, then all three of your units are getting the 20% agility bonus, and you kind of want your units to go as fast as possible. So especially on the first turn, where it's more important than not than the other turns. So I think most people will be spawning along here or in these three squares. So that's the map. That's the spawning location, and there will also be crystals that give you AP as well that you can pick up. There'll be three on your side and three on the opponent's side. One of the rules for the CM is that your healing will be reduced by something like 90%. So you should probably not incorporate healing and sustaining into your strategy because you probably won't be doing too well if that's part of your main strategy. That also includes healing from picking up these crystals as well. One thing that you should notice with this map is that there is a lot of heights that you'll be playing around with. There's like height 3s and height 4s, height 2s and height 1s. So you should kind of take that into your strategy. Now, uh, in the normal free match, a lot of people are playing, well, maybe not a lot, but a significant portion are playing the Keen Blade Uldira strategy. And how that works is basically you have your Clean Blade unit to give everybody CT on your first turn, and then they will move up. Then, well, maybe they'll move up here. Oops, like this. And then your Ildira will use her LB to increase the CT of both the other units. So the first unit that used Keen Blade and the other units gets extra CT, and the third unit who benefits from both the Keen Blade CT and the Ildira CT now gets to move uh, 2 times in a row, basically. So you can go once, and then you can go a second time and attack. And that usually works in the match battle map where you can basically destroy an opponent before they get to move, which I kind of hate, but that's what it is. It's a smaller map. However, here I don't think that's as an effective strategy here. And the reason for that is because, again, like, say that all your units are like this. So I'm gonna have this unit be my Keen Blade unit. I'm gonna have this be my carry, and I'm gonna have this be my Aldira. So Keen Blade uses Keen Blade first, and then moves here. My Ildira uses her LB, and now my carry can move 2 times. And the first time, even if you have 4 space, maybe you'll move like one extra space here, and then you will move another 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, and there's only a limited spaces that you can attack. Your opponent might spawn like here, or might spawn in the corner, and you might not be in range to attack your opponent. So I think this is a more risky strategy to play. Maybe things might line up once in a while. Maybe if you spawn here or something, and your opponent happens to spawn like right in the center here, maybe that might work for you. Or if your carry is a range champion like Nivlu or Federica. So Nivlu on her first turn can use Kiza's Bells and move 3 spaces, and then on the second turn she can move 3 spaces again, and she has a wider range that she can attack because of her very long range. Um, However, I find that range champions, especially gunners, are not as effective if you don't have a full build around them, and that often means giving them like the aim fire buff. So without the aim fire buff, I think it'll be hard for her to one shot a lot of units, especially like a level 120 units. Maybe she might be able to like destroy like other level 99 units, but I think a lot of people would at least have one unit that's like level 120. So I don't know if that's going to be such an effective strategy for this map and this stage in the game where none of the gunners are level 120 yet. So I still think Caneblade could be making quite a bit of appearances in this map in class match, but I think it'll be used in different ways. I think it can be used defensively. For example, if say you have your 3 units like this, actually I think that I'm going to go to my formation screen to talk about it because I think it makes more sense there. So I'm just waiting for it to load, and then I'm gonna go here. So in my formation, you can see that these are my units. And to make the 540 cost, suppose I'm using capture on Sakura, and so she has much lower agility than the others. So Yuna has 100 agility. Whoops, let me show you here. 100 agility, and Elsa has 82. Well, let's actually make her agility a bit more. Let's give her something like this. Okay, so she has 88, and actually I can make her even more. I can give her Odin. There we go. So she has now 93 agility. So say this is your team, and Sakura only has 80 agility because you gave her the Cactuar Esper to make your team cost 540, because that is the limit of your team cost for this class match. So your opponent is charging a double quicken plus carry team, and usually there is some time between when the quickens starting to cast and when it finishes casting, and most of the time between the casts you have one turn to do something. Now if your unit is only 80 agility, like my Sakura is, maybe you won't have any time to do anything because your agility is not so high because you're using Cactuar as the Esper. So therefore you can use Keenblade now, because Elsa will probably go before Quicken finishes, so you can use Keenblade on Elsa to reposition your Sakura. So you have a slower unit, and she's going to die because the double quicken unit is going to come and kill it. So instead of letting it die, you use your Keenblade to reposition your slower unit so that they don't all die, basically, right? So I think that it makes sense in that way. I think it makes sense to have a like a defensive repositioning kind of utility with Keenblade. I think it also makes sense if you're doing like attacking strategies with Keenblade as well, but not a Keenblade Ildira strategy, a different one. So say you are a double quicken user and your enemy is also a double quicken user. Sometimes the match just comes down to whoever gets off your double quicken combo first wins. So if you have a comp like this where you have, say, that, right? And you have your Niblu and you have your Shell, and you have, say, your carry is Elsa, or maybe somebody faster like Victora. Victora is usually pretty fast. So say this is your team, and Victora is your carry. And before your units finish casting, actually let's use Gilgamesh because he's slower than Shell. Is he? I don't know actually if he's slower or not. But assume that for whatever your comp is, you're using Gilgamesh, and your units are just slower than the opponent's units, and your opponent is going to finish casting their double quicken before you. So on the very first turn, you should be making Victora the fastest of all your units. Like you would give her, whatever else agility you could, I guess, by doing something like this. So she has 106, Niblu has 95, and Gilgamesh has 88. I mean, I could probably bring them up, but I'm just explaining the strategy. So your carry is actually the fastest of your 3 units, and you have your carry use Keenblade the very first turn. So what this does is it makes all 3 of your units go before your enemy does. So in this strategy, you would want your carry to actually be the fastest of your 3 units, and the very first turn, your idea is to use Keenblade on all of your units so that you can get your double quicken combo off before your enemy does. So I think Keenblade will be used in that way to try to get your units to double quicken first before your enemy. I think it can also be used defensively to reposition your units. I just don't think Keenblade plus Ildira will be very strong in this map because it's very big. So, how do you survive a double quicken combo? I've actually been asked this in Discord by other players that are asking, like if I'm not a double quicken player, if I'm not even a quicken player, what can I do to survive the barrage of attacks? So what I did before was I had something like I used Titus and somebody else, and I just stacked different defenses. So I would use Yuna's clothing to give everybody protect and shell, and whoops, let me actually put that on. And then I had somebody else use this one, uh, uh, Knight's Blessing, to give everybody a shield for 3 turns. So now my enemy has to get through 2 layers of defenses. I actually made it a third layer by giving everybody uh, this, yeah, area effect resistance of 20. Because if I'm fighting not a keen blade, but a double quicken player, they're most likely trying to use AoE skills to take out my whole party. So they have to go through 3 different layers of my resistances to kill my party, and most of the time they didn't. Even against like double quicken gunners, they were not able to kill my party, and on my turn, my Titus could usually one-shot them because I would give Titus my attack card, like this card. So my Titus had like a lot of damage, and he was easily able to survive the damage from, well, first of all, 20% reduction of area effect resist, then 25% protect shield, then a 30% shield from Knight's Blessing. Then sometimes I would even use his own skill of Sentinel to increase defense and spirit by 40. Is it 40 or 45? Either way, it's a high number. So you have to go through all of that to kill him. And usually, unless I make a mistake where I don't use Sentinel and I leave him in a stupid position or something, I didn't. I was never killed on the first turn with that combo. Um, but like after you use that, I mean, it's great that you survived, but you still need a way to win, right? So what do? How can you win if you are not using double quicken or quicken and your enemy is using double quicken or quicken? Well, you need to have a strategy. So the first thing you need to learn is you need to learn the enemy's carries AoE skills. So in this case, if Titus is my carry, Titus has an AoE skill of +1 range, and that skill is Taunting Blade. So I know that if I leave all my units 4 spaces apart, he can only kill one at a time. So first of all, that's what I would do because I'm expecting for him to kill me, and I don't think I can survive. Maybe I didn't build the shields. So I position my units 4 spaces apart to make sure that he can only kill one. But if his carry instead is somebody like Ruinstern, then I have to leave my units even more spaces apart because he has a skill that can hit up to 5 spaces. So I have to leave my units 6 spaces apart. But on top of this, so I'm gonna use like not double quicken units to show my example. So say I'm using something like actually let me go back to my light team. So say I'm using something like this. So no double quicken here, and I'm expecting an attack. So suppose I don't have shields or barriers. I leave my units 4 spaces apart. Say I'm expecting a Titus to double quicken me. I leave my units 4 spaces apart, and I leave Yuna in the back of everybody so that like I don't want to use her. The reason I do not want to lose her is because she can full life somebody if they die. But my focus is not actually on full life. It's just there as a secondary precaution for when the tables turn. But really, my focus is on killing the enemy carry. So first of all, I leave my units 4 spaces apart. And then when he comes to kill someone, if he comes to kill, say, Sakura or Elsa, he kills one of them and he'll probably try to move away. If I don't take that opportunity to kill him, I almost lost the game because that is one of the main weaknesses of the strategy because he's using his whole team to come towards me and attack. So I leave my units spread out, I lose one, and I need to take this opportunity to kill his carry. Otherwise, he's going to retreat, and now I need to approach, and I only have 2 units while he has 3, and he has 2 double quickens, and he is at a total advantage. So I need to have a way to be able to turn the tide. So maybe I could have used things like this, which improve uh, the range of my units, or maybe on her I would use something like Dragoon's Helm. So the first turn, she has an extra move and she has Hast on herself. So if he kills, say he kills Sakura, then my Elturel would hopefully be in a position to kill him. If he kills my Elturel, maybe Sakura is in a position to kill him. And obviously, I would like so in this kind of team, I'm looking for like an all-out strategy as well. So I need to have some kind of plan on how to counterattack. Maybe I wouldn't even use a team like this. Maybe I would use a team like this. So I know for sure that my Titus has a lot of damage. Maybe I will use, say, Victora, because I also know that she has a lot of damage, especially if he uses a vision card like, where is it? This one, which gives her Man Eater, Pierce Attack, and it also gives her ice pierced attack of 35. That's a lot of attack, like a lot of pierced attack, a lot of damage on her. And the first turn I will use Dragoon's Helm, giving her haste and +1 move. On the first turn for Titus, I will give him maybe I will give him this one, like the +1 move, or maybe I will haste himself, like use Hestagar. Either way, like I need some kind of strategy to counterattack because that is the one opportunity that I have to turn the tide. And if I do turn the tide, if I do kill his carry, I have more than a 50% chance of winning. Like even if I don't have anybody with re-raise, like say he kills my Sakura or say he kills my Victora, if I kill whatever his carry is, he has 2 quickeners left, and I have 2 units that are pretty good. In a team with 2 quickeners and 1 carry, the team is kind of focused on the carry. All the vision cards are usually supporting the carry, so the other 2 quickeners, sure, they might do some damage, especially if it's like Nivlo and Gilgamesh. They will definitely do some damage, but they won't be as strong as your regular units. Because again, like if my team was something like this, with Gilgamesh, like maybe I have an agility card and maybe I have an accuracy card. I don't know. Like that can be anything. But my point is, actually, maybe I'll put this card. Okay. So my point is that I could change this card to a slash card. So I could have my Gilgamesh do more damage, but I really want my Titus to be doing the most damage because he's the carry. So I would like everything will be really focused on improving his stats. So if you are my enemy and you kill my Titus, my other 2 units are okay, but they're not as great as a regular unit. So the focus should be on killing the carry. Now, this whole thing is a totally different story if you're facing double quicken gunners. Because, oops, let me do this. Okay, so the thing with double quicken gunners is they can attack you from afar away. So my example just now was that, okay, Titus will come and attack you, and when he's retreating, you can kill him. Well, or you try to kill him. That's the idea. With this team, okay, Frederica is going to attack you, but she's going to be from so far away that you actually will have a trouble even attacking her on the counterattack, because you'll probably need to move twice before you can kill her. That's just how gunners are, right? So how do you play against this? This is a little bit more difficult, and honestly, a lot of it is just planning. Like you need to have a plan of how do you approach a team like this. Maybe the way for you to approach is to use double gunners. Sorry, not double gunners. The way to approach is for yourself to use double quicken as well. I faced a team like this a lot of times in the last CM, except if it wasn't Gilgamesh. It was usually someone like Shell. And I used double quicken with Titus to defeat them. And I had to use double quicken Titus because otherwise Titus just had no way to close the distance between them. But there was another comp that I used which also had a very high success rate against double gunners, and it did not use double quicken. I used Victora. I don't remember who else I used. I think I used Victora, Elsorel, and a healer. But Victora had something like 90% missile resist, because also from the buff from Elsorel. And with that, like she could solo the double gunner team. Like usually, I played 4 matches with this team, and 2 of those matches were against double gunners, and I won. And it was very easy. Like my enemies would kill my other 2 units, and Victoria could just solo and defeat them because she had so much missile resist. So that's another way to take on double gunners. There were a couple of guys, Prodigy, and I'm going to say Ralph because I have trouble saying his full name. It's like Rafaelos, I think. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, Ralph, and if you're watching this. But they used a team something like this for one of the previous class matches. Like that. And here we have Kane's TMR. So on the very first turn, Kane will use his TMR, and that will give him up to move 4 with haste. so he was able to approach on turn 1. Victra already starts with move 4. She will use Dragoon Standard, which gives her move 5, and she will approach with Dragoon Standard. Kiza had Halloween Rairu's TMR, which is this one, and she also has move 4, so she uses re-raise and she approaches. So you have all 3 units that are coming towards you. Double quicken gunners, I guess you can take out one of them, but the remaining 2 will probably kill your team. What are you going to do, right? So they actually use this composition in the match, in the map where the double gunners were very popular. So this worked very well against them, against that map, and it probably will work against double gunners as well. But you need to figure out, okay, do you think there will be a lot of double gunners, or do you think there will be, like, say, double quicken Titus? Because like, if you put a shield on Titus, double gunners will still have a tough time killing him, but he will one-shot them. Because I've done it many times. I mean, if they use a shield, then I have to break the shield first, and then I can one-shot them. But even without a shield, I tried. Like, I put my maximum attack, VCs, and everything on Frederica, and I used the strongest attack she had available, and she hit for under 5k on Titus, and Titus had close to 6.7k HP. So with no shield or whatsoever, she still cannot kill Titus. She would probably take maybe 3 hits to kill him, if I have, like, my full defense setup with, like, Sentinel and, say, like, the Knight's Blessing shield and Protect or something. So she will take at least 3 turns to kill him, while he only needs 1 hit to kill her if she doesn't have a shield. And if she has a shield, he'll probably take 2 hits to kill her. So, and if that's Titus, like, I'm assuming Aron is the same thing. I'm assuming Gilgamesh is the same thing. And Gilgamesh has a 50% shield instead of a 30% shield. All these level 120 units, they have much higher HPs, much higher, stats. So, and there isn't any double gunners that have level 120 levels yet. So I don't know how popular they'll be. So maybe you can just decide that, you know what, like, my team is going to do all this, but it's going to be weak to double gunners. Or maybe you'll say that, you know what, because of the map, I think a lot of people are going to use double gunners, and I'm going to be very strong against double gunners. Maybe I'm going to use Mont, because Mont is, like, naturally resistant to lightning, and he also has, with the Paladin subjob, he has Immortal Spirit, he has Sentinel, and he has Move 4 and Jump 2. So he probably is very good on this map. And if you happen to get him like his Stone Throw upgraded, he does quite a bit of damage with Stone Throw as well, and it has a lot of range for 5 AP. So maybe that's a unit you can use. Maybe he will be your Keen Blade unit as well, because he can equip it. So it's all, like, there are a lot of things you can do. A lot of it is really about preparation. What are you going to run? How will you handle the different teams that you meet? It's better to kind of at least think about it before facing them than when you're facing them. Because when you're facing them, if you've never seen this team before and you have 30 seconds on the clock, you are probably more likely to make a mistake. So that's my main advice here, is just to prepare, like, just to think about it. If you want to do well in CM, just think about the different comps you'll fight, how you're going to fight them, what teams your comp will do well against, what teams your comp will not do well against. I have some previous CM videos I've done as well where I explain my strategies. I have, like, all kinds of strategy. I only used double quicken teams once, and that was in the previous CM. The CM before that, I used Glaciella, Ruinstern, and Phoebe. The CM before that, I used Nevlu and Frederica, and my third unit was Dwayne. Yeah. So I used different kind of units, different strategies. In the very, very first CM I did a water comp of Miranda, Glaciella, and Ildira. So it was very weak to lightning, but I think I only lost 3 times out of 40. So, I mean, sometimes it's just luck. I just happen to not face too many Federicas. So, have fun with it. I hope you guys really enjoy the CM. If you have any questions or comments, or want to talk more about strategy, leave a comment down below. I will also share a link to the Discord channel that we are active on, where we talk a lot about CM. We do some practice matches. We talk to each other. We share ideas and strategies. So I hope you guys come and join us if you really want to learn more about it or prep more for it. That's a good place to start. Anyway, that's it for me for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care now.